quiet of night, I whispered my plea, holding her close, hoping for her decree.
Sok Sabai. Listen. The soft tap of a lotus seed against a wooden plate, a single thread sliding, whispering through a hole, the whole bench like a small temple for hands, quiet and precise, not loud, but full of conversation.
Welcome to Ancient Echoes KH. I'm Samnong Bradley. Ancient stones, modern stories, warm welcomes. Today, I'm sitting at a low bench to hear seeds shaped into prayer beads, to meet 3 keepers of that craft, an elder temple bead maker, a market mender who stitches rosaries back into service, and a young artisan making modern malas with deep respect for ritual limits. We'll travel by sound and story, hands, wood, prayer, and I'll promise up front, we do not publish sacred formulas or private mantras. Those boundaries matter.
Briefly, for context, prayer beads appear in many forms here. Mala strings used in Buddhist devotion, rosary-like sets carried by elders, and smaller worry beads that move between households and temples. Common materials include lotus seeds, tamarind wood, local fruit stones, and occasionally imported seeds for non-ritual fashion pieces. We will talk sourcing ethics, who can collect certain seeds, when permission is needed, and why some bead types are reserved for ritual use only. Sources and further reading are in the show notes.
At the temple, the elder bead maker begins his day before sunrise. I crouched beside his bench, and he let me listen more than he spoke, because much of this craft is taught by doing. He tapped a lotus seed into shape and said, in his slow voice, "Each seed remembers the pond." He showed me a box of beads, different sizes, tiny scars that told stories of growth. He spoke about permissions, how certain woods and seeds are gathered with temple blessing, how some trees are considered communal and cannot be harvested without elders' agreement.
When he described apprenticeship, you could hear the mathematics of hands, how years of repetition build rhythm. He taught the young how to drill a seed so the hole doesn't split, how to test the seed's moisture, how to listen for the right tone when beads click together. From an ethnographic point of view, patterns of apprenticeship like this are how material knowledge and social rules about sacred access move between generations.
He laughed then, softly, and told me about a time a tourist asked for a magical bead, offering a bright price. He shook his head and said that some beads are not for sale because their purpose is covenantal, given and kept within families or temple networks. A bead carries a vow, he said. I remember that line because it reframed how I handled the small strings in my own hands after that morning.
From the temple, we step into the market, a different rhythm. There I met the mender, a woman whose stall is shaded by a faded umbrella, a sewing kit always within reach. People come to her with necklaces worn thin, with elders handing over rosaries that have been in the family for decades. She doesn't just knot strings, she listens to the stories attached to each strand. Economically, repair is modest pay, but it keeps objects in circulation and honors relationships.
She showed me a rosary with a repaired knot that had, she said, saved a marriage. She told the story laughing. Then her voice softened when she explained the quiet dignity of returning an elder's rosary to them. She taught me how to handle a bead, roll it between thumb and forefinger, find the worn side, follow the thread's path. It was one of those small how-tos that reveal care. Don't rush, she said. Repair like you are returning someone home. Now, pause with me. Imagine the ambisonic layer of that bench, the rasp of a tiny drill on a seed, the whisper of thread, a distant temple bell, the low chatter of the market. These are not mere backgrounds. They shape how beads are made, sold, and loved. Let that mix sit in your head for a moment. The practice,
the place.
On the younger end of the spectrum, I met an artisan experimenting with contemporary mala designs. She uses traditional materials, but threads them with new color arrangements and simple, non-ritual charms for younger buyers. She was careful to point out boundaries: no sacred inscriptions, no repackaging of ritual sequences for sale. She works through a cooperative that vets designs and channels profits back into apprenticeships. That model matters. It creates market access without hollowing out meaning.
She said something I loved. Innovation is not copying ritual, it's asking ritual how it wants to be honored. She showed me a mala designed for meditation practice in everyday life, plain, polite, without claims about power. People buy them to remember, not to appropriate. She also taught me how to commission one properly, discuss purpose, ask about sourcing, and agree on fair pay. If you want a piece with ritual meaning, let the community frame what that means.
I also brought one nuanced point from a cultural custodian I interviewed off mic. Communities themselves regulate access. There are bead types and certain inscriptions that are kept private because they're used in specific ceremonies or family rites. When outside researchers or visitors ask directly, custodians may say, "Not now," and that refusal is itself meaningful. Respecting that no is part of ethical listening.
So what should you do if you want to engage ethically? 3 short takeaways. 1. Ask before touching or photographing beads. 2. Commission through cooperatives or vetted makers. Pay fairly and ask about sourcing. 3. Avoid requesting sacred inscriptions or private mantras. If a bead is meant for a ritual, let that remain within the community. These steps keep objects meaningful and makers respected.
Add a small production note. Do not publish precise supply locations or GPS points. If you care about supporting makers, ask the cooperative to make mediated introductions. That both protects sources and builds sustainable relationships. Also, if you're recording, get clear on-record consent. That verbal consent and a written release are not paperwork hurdles, they're respect in action.
Before we close, a quick reflection. So much of what makes a bead sacred is the story threaded through it, the vow, the apprenticeship, the places it has been. When I hold a rosary that has been mended 3 times, I hold a map of a family's care. These are small strings that hold large memories.
And for the listeners who might want to do more than listen, in the show notes we list vetted cooperatives and community groups that accept ethical commissions and support apprenticeships. Use those pathways. Support people, not trends.
Thank you for walking the bench with me today. Hands busy, stories long. If this episode resonated, please subscribe so we can keep bringing small, sound-rich stories from across Cambodia to your ears. Quiet stones, loud stories.
Oh, shining diamond, flawless and rare, you stand so quiet, soft in the air. I dared not to rush you, feared you'd flee. Your heart too pure to belong to me. If you turn away, I reach and bind, press my hand, still body and mind. Your brows I trace, your breath I steal. This mark I place is dark and real. From this moment break and fall, hear the spell, obey the call. False love closed eyes. Follow me, don't fight, don't run, your soul is caught, my work is done. Empty will, your light undone, under spell, under Sigmund. Crystal beauty, diamond bright, caught between shadow, charm, and night. Time won't save you, truth won't last. This vow is carved, the line is cast. My words are smoke, my touch is fire. I bend your heart to dark desire.